Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. I am Yael Tygiel. I'm joined by Taylor Gates. Hello, Taylor.
Hello.
Hi. Felicia will be joining us at some point. Here's what I know. This is season 24, episode 3, Mirror Effect. I know we're a little bit late, as in a couple weeks, but stuff happens. Hello, we're back. We're very excited. Before we jump in, if you are in need of help, if you are assaulted, please reach out to RAINN. Their number is 1-800-656-4673. 1-800-656-4673. Taylor, what does that spell?
It spells hope, everyone.
It does. 4673 spells hope. Also, if you're new here, welcome to our show. We will discuss this episode and then some other things. And while we discuss it, we may say some things that are inappropriate, perhaps offensive.
Perhaps.
Well, we never know what's going to come out of our mouths because this is live and words just come out of our mouths. Mostly mine.
That is how discussions work.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you for explaining that. Amazing. All right, so let's jump into, again, season 24, episode 3, Mirror Effect. Here is the quick cap. Benson tries to help a pop star in a volatile relationship. Rollins struggles with taking the stress of work home with her. Finn teaches a rookie a lesson in respecting fellow officers.
Sure.
That is a way to look at the episode. Yep. Taylor, what did you think of this episode?
So here's the thing. I love Bunheads. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And our little girl, Kelsey, in this episode was one of the stars of Bunheads. So I was so excited to see her. I think she's great. I mean, we've definitely seen this episode before, but I enjoyed it anyway. I love like an unhinged stage mom type of person, which Kelsey's mom definitely fit that bill. I think they're doing a good job handling the Rollins stuff. Honestly, I think it's interesting how they're like actually digging deep and exploring like the trauma and her like struggling with all of that. And I think Kelly Giddish is doing a really good job of like acting that kind of stuff. So I really like that aspect of it. And I also think Muncie is fun. Like they're hazing her so bad and it's very entertaining to me.
Okay. We'll get to the Rollins stuff in a second. I will say this. Not only have we seen this episode, it was called Funny Valentine. It's season 14, episode like 16.
Literally the exact. But whatever, they're both from Bunhead.
Here's the difference. That episode it's one of my favorites because that one had Caleb Bryant, because it was the Chris Brown story. And so I always remember his name is Caleb Bryant.
It's so far from
the difference between this and that is that she doesn't die at the end. That's the difference. Speaking of, we've seen this, and what somebody you love is the same mom, the same stage mom from Producers Back End in season 16, episode 3. I was like, this woman has played this role before. In fact, she has exactly played this role before.
Her agent's just like, okay, just do what you did last time and you should be good. And I love that for her. Get your coins.
So I agree with you. I think this episode was redundant. I think I'm really struggling with this, right? Because this episode was very clearly inspired by a current case. And it is a case that I believe did not need to be publicized. It was nobody's business. Mm-hmm. But because it was so heavily publicized, a lot of weird details and facts came out. And the fact that this story, which was ripped from that headline, didn't have any of those really bothers me. Like, if you're
I was happy. Honestly, I was happy because I agree. I don't think that case should be I think that's a horrible situation all around. And so I'm kind of glad that they made it super vague because I didn't want that discourse.
But the thing is, I understand that. But then you've given us an episode we've already seen. Like, change it. Do something unique and special and different.
Yeah.
Because this was a redundant episode.
Mm-hmm.
And And honestly, maybe it's because Funny Valentine came out first, but I think it was better. I think it was much better. And this one, this one like disappointed me. It was kind of, I don't know, it just disappointed me. Let's talk about the Rollins part of it though, because you're right. Like the way they're handling the story, it feels like they are building to something and justifying what they're doing, which I will give them the props for because we complained so much about the way they did Kat and Garland dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like a legit arc, like that she's gonna come to a certain realization. And I don't know, I like this, like, it sounds so bad to say, but I like this struggle for her because it is a different struggle than what it was like. She's in a very different place than she was when she first came here, when she was like having problems with gambling, all of that stuff. But it's like a mirror effect, to use the episode title.
How so?
Oh well, because I don't know, she has like the same tendencies to like, I feel like, be very almost spontaneous in ways and not want to look in and like fix different things, but she's in a completely different point of her life, so it's manifesting differently with her like grabbing her gun when her kids are in the room, because I thought that was such an interesting thing. And it is sort of reminiscent of like the old Rollins, where she would like be very like spontaneous, I guess, and do something like that. Impulsive. Yeah, exactly. Impulsive. But it's different now because she has Carisi and she has a family and it's all of that. So I don't know. I think that's a really good way to keep her consistent with her character, but also show how much she has grown, but still has those tendencies in a way.
I agree. I think you're totally right. What was so interesting watching the scene where she pulls the gun is Carisi runs to the girls and I was like, where is she going? Like, where has she run off to? And then when she comes in with the gun, it was unexpected.
Yeah, but I think I was like convinced. I was like, oh my God, there's something there. And so I think that she made it. I mean, personally, I thought that for a second. I was like, whoa. So the fact she made me believe just based off of this, I was like, that's impressive. Like, whoa, something's in the closet.
Yeah. That stupid dog toy. How old is that toy? I don't know that that's still a toy that you can buy. Is it?
No, I think my sister has one for her dog, and he hates it. Dash hates it.
I want one so bad. It was adorable. My only problem with those toys, just to go off on this tangent, is that they're not squishy. Like you can't snuggle them because they're robotic. They're hard.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Dash is not a fan of those. He like barks at it so aggressively. It's like, it's not a real other dog. Chill out.
We have people watching us live in our chat. Zach is here. Zach says that damn dog toy. Yep. Daryl is here. Hello, Daryl. Daryl says, do you think Finn is a big fan of Dwayne Johnson?
Yes.
I mean,
I would say so.
Who is not?
So true. Who doesn't like The Rock? I think they'd be besties. Get The Rock on here. He acts a little bit.
A little bit. He acts a lot. He has he has a movie in like theaters this weekend.
He acts a little bit. I don't know why I just immediately thought of like The Mummy, where he wasn't like that. Or I guess it's The Mummy Returns. But no, he acts a lot.
He's a literal movie in theaters right now.
There's a little movie called Black Adam, not sponsored unless they want to sponsor us, and we will take your money.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Yet.
Okay. I want to give some actor shout outs because that's how we do here. Your friend from Bunheads.
Bestie. I've never met her in my life. I just like her.
Played Kelsey. Her name is Julia Goldani Tells?
I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. I just know that she's great in Bunheads.
Let's talk about the boy who played Austin, Grant Astide. That's funny. What were your thoughts on this character? Who was he? My question was, who was he supposed to be?
I don't know. I mean, we can curse on here.
Yes. There's a warning. He had fuckboy energy.
Pretty well, yeah. He was giving TikTok. He was giving influencer.
Here's the part that like confuses me, right? The man is confident enough in his masculinity to show up in a beautiful pink suit, right? Like he rocked that suit, but he draws the line at holding the pretty pink purse.
Right.
That's confusing to me. Like either you are confident enough in your sexuality, your masculinity, whatever it is that you need to be confident enough to wear something you want to wear, or you're not.
Yeah,
and that
actually,
purse,
I feel like that actually opens a really interesting discussion, though,
of
trends and sort of like the Gen Z impact, how that stuff is very like fashionable, like the Harry Styles effect, I think is a real thing. I don't know. That's kind of interesting to think about, though. Like, when is it deemed acceptable and what is like not? You know, I don't know.
Well, Daryl in the chat says it was about being less popular than her, not about the person, my opinion.
Oh yeah, that's
so totally agree that he had some issues with her being I guess more popular in that moment, which is so great because later in the trial when his lawyer is like, she has almost as many as he does.
Yeah, but that also, it's so interesting. That actually opens an interesting discussion too, that they could have done more with, about how people are way quicker to turn on a woman than a man.
Absolutely. And I think you're totally right. This episode, because of the redundancy of the story, could have had such broader, more interesting discussions. And I think that one about like, gender fluidity in terms of presentation is a very interesting conversation that I would have loved to have had on this show. Or to have this idea of how women are torn down and not believed in a way that men are not. And I think that they tried a little bit to be like, his fans showed up with the red pants. Her fans are nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, that's so true. I think, if they just picked one and went all in on that, it could have been interesting, because it would have made it more specific, because it was a bit of like a generic feeling episode.
Yes.
Like, I thought I still enjoyed it, but...
Yeah. Alice says, was so excited for a Butthead star.
Yes, Alice!
She would have done as well as a murderer.
She would. She has that like demeanor. It's the Lily Reinhart in that one episode. I don't know if she has that same kind of... She could play that, I feel.
Lily Reinhart in something Traveler.
Yeah. Lost Traveler.
Lost Traveler. Great episode.
Why?
Good call.
Why not?
Oh, what a good pull. Yeah, I think honestly would have been an interesting twist if she had murdered him, right? Like, or if her mom had murdered him. That would have been great.
I thought something was going to happen with that, because that mom was a bit unhinged.
I want to give some more shout outs, because so the mom, played by Dana Wheeler-Nichols, again, repeat offender, playing the exact same character as she did in Producers Backend in season 16, episode 3. Let's talk about the Muncie. Let's talk about Muncie.
Let's do it.
First of all, why are we giving fashion advice?
I don't know, and it's so aggressive. They're being so mean to her.
It reminds me of, if you go back, I believe it was when, I want to say it was when Adam Baldwin came in right before Barba. He gave Finn a lecture about dressing appropriately, because he was dressed not appropriately for a detective. But I think Muncie's outfit was fine.
Yeah, me too.
Also, I would like them to have a whole discussion. If we're going to do it, if we're going to give her this lecture, then let's have a discussion about how we police women's bodies by enforcing dress codes. Like, let's have that conversation.
It's like running up and down the street. Why can't you wear a little sweatshirt?
Also, as a hoodie wearer, that is my winter coat, is a hoodie.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being told that my hoodie is not professional.
Like, get over it. It's fine. You want to wear heels next so you can run in heels?
Right.
No.
Is she gonna be forced to wear a
I think you're
skirt?
doing amazing, sweetie. Don't listen to them.
I also think it was really interesting that like Finn doesn't want her to be there. Muncie doesn't want to be there. Nobody wants her there. Why is she there?
I don't know, but I think it's funny. Like just the pettiness of all of the drama. It's kind of fun. Add a little silliness as a treat, you know?
Daryl points out that I live in Los Angeles and I don't know what winter is. Yeah, that's why my winter coat is a hoodie.
That's why that wouldn't fly in the Midwest, but
I was in Toronto with a hoodie and I got yelled at because I was cold.
What month?
It was April, I think.
Yeah, no. you know nothing.
Whatever.
We haven't fought the battles we've fought. Yo.
Yeah, I chose to live in a state that doesn't have snow unless you drive to it.
Why did you now? But I didn't get that choice growing up.
Your parents are cruel.
Well, yeah. You want to fight?
I mean, those are basically all my notes about this episode.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. Alice points out that Benson does want her there. That's right. Benson wants her there. Why? Like, I would love it if she said, you know, I see myself in her. I think whatever.
Yeah. I feel like that's implied because we get young Olivia vibes in ways.
Do we?
Naturally, a little bit. I mean, she's good at talking to the victims we saw in her first episode there. I know you like are like, oh, that was one little moment. I don't even know if that was that good, but it's like the raw potential of it, I think, is what we were supposed to get. I was like, I already know you're gonna argue.
You knew exactly. You were 100%. That was it.
That's why I'm already just gonna have the defense on the ready. But I feel like we're supposed to, as an audience, say, oh, she naturally has something special there that would make her good at this and we can hone those skills, but she's so rough around the edges right now. I think that's what we're supposed to think.
Okay. And I'm okay with that. I don't know that she's that rough around the edges, right? Like, I think that there's definitely room for growth and for her to learn, but this like changing everything about her feels like the opposite of honing her skills. It's like they saw a blank canvas and were like, ooh, blank canvas. Let's take that. But everybody's like, why? We would rather have somebody who like has skills.
It's giving like makeover sequence in a teen movie. We should get that scene. Come on.
I'm all right. Yeah, okay. What do we think about Carisi and Rollins at home, their home life?
It exists. It's fine. Like, it's fine. We know, I've said this episode, every episode, broken record. I don't know. I like flip-flop back and forth. It's cute, but it's boring now.
I think I believe him as these kids' stepdad, right? Like, I believe that he is now their father. That's whether they stay together or break up, like, that's who he is. And, you know, I know people where, like, the couple, the non-biological father is not in the life of the mother, but still is in the life of the child. And I think that this is definitely, I could see that for this couple. Yeah. I almost feel like he should just adopt the girls. And she should go deal with whatever she needs to deal with. But I don't know. I don't see them as a couple so much as I see him as their father, if that makes sense.
I'm trying to remember. I don't want to like say something for the next episode in this episode, but this is the one where he was like, oh, you didn't mess anything up, right? That's this episode, not the next one.
I think so.
So, I mean, I think that's, if it's not sorry, but if you haven't watched the next one, sorry, go do that. I think that's sweet though, because I feel like that's a real fear that she has, you know, that she's going to mess everything up. Like, I feel like that's definitely a relatable thing, especially when you're pulling guns on your dog toys. Like, oh no, that's not great. They're going to think I'm crazy and leave. And so I do think it's sweet that he reassured her that she's not messing anything up, and he's still going to be there for her.
I agree. I think it's totally reasonable. Her beliefs and her feelings and her reactions, I think, are totally reasonable. But I also think that anyone who knows Carisi is like, he's not going in. Like, yes, Rollins is going to fear that he's going to leave. Mm-hmm. Carisi is not going to leave. Like, yeah. These two things are true.
Yeah. Yeah. But I guess they're just settling more into the like domestic-y, safe with each other type thing instead of like spicy. But like, I'm sorry, I never thought they were spicy, and maybe that's why I have trouble like accepting this, because I didn't see the passionate whatever before it.
I never saw passion, right? Like, their story to me was he was into her, she was not into him. All of a sudden, she's into him, and now they're together. And he's like, I'm ready to marry this person. Right? Like, he's nested, he's settled down. He's good to go.
Which I mean, I guess that is how some couples work and operate, especially after her past relationships that were chaos. Maybe it's good that it hasn't been like that. Maybe it's good it's been a bit of a change. Because it didn't work with.
Well, you know what though? If they're gonna stay this boring, I can't not spicy. If they're gonna stay this boring, then bring in Kim, right? Like, bring in an external force.
Let's go.
or bring in both of her baby daddies. Like, I want to see this dynamic of them against the world,
Yeah. I totally. I like that idea.
And because she has history.
Yes.
Not just because you like Kim.
If she leaves without us seeing Kim again, there's gonna be hell to pay. Okay, I have to get at least one more Kim appearance.
Oh man, I mean, even if she leaves though, Kim could come back.
Please, she's so messy. She cracks me up. I'm the only one who thinks this. Like, I'm the only one who wants her back. But whatever, I'm gonna speak the loudest, and so maybe that will drown out everyone else who is vehemently against it.
I want to talk about the trial for a second because my notes. I was so excited. Carisi pulled a Barba. That's what I wrote. Like, yes. The way that he got, I almost called him Caleb, Austin. The way that we got this abusive guy to, like, outburst on the stand. I was so excited for a Barba moment. Mm-hmm. It was so wonderful. And Carisi pulling Barbas is just so, I love it because it means that he learned from his ex-boyfriend and like, they weren't just lovers.
Boyfriend.
They weren't just lovers.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe there's a throuple situation going on in the background that we know nothing about. That would spice things up.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. I doubt that would ever happen, but it would be amazing.
It won't. But in my head, it will. I love being delusional. So,
all right. Let's keep going with our discussion. For those who have never seen our show before, we like to highlight some of the best lines of the episode. So let's do it. I have one.
Okay. Well, I have way more than that. So.
I know. That's why I'll go first.
Great.
Okay. My advice to you. Whatever it is that you were taught about being a man, do the opposite.
Yeah, that was a bit of a burn, but also good advice at the same time.
It was 100% a burn and 100% good advice.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say, the one that played the unhinged mother, she's also from Friday Night Lights. I was going to say that too, because they brought so many of my favorite show alums into this episode just for me, I think, which we love. Okay. I thought the cheesiest line, this wasn't my favorite line, but this was the cheesiest line, was when he said, not with the monster spray, and he held up the perfume bottle, and I said, I don't know that I can do this. Honestly, just the whole conversation between Finn and Olivia about Muncie was just a drag. Like, they dragged her. They called her an entitled millennial. They called her
yes
stray. They were a little rescue. What? Like, she didn't need to be rescued. She had another job. What are you guys talking about?
As that scene happened, I was like, fuck it. I'm not writing
All
anything
of
down.
them. I just wrote pretty much down the whole thing, but
Read it to us.
your little rescue left this in my car. Muncie, she's a millennial. They're all entitled. She should feel entitled to getting my car detailed and filling it up with gas. Whoa. The bitterness.
Yeah.
Wild. I loved the limo driver who was acting like a therapist. Like, he really acted like he knew Kelsey and Austin and all of their business, dissecting them. And then he just said that they needed a timeout. And I was like, sir, they're not asking your opinion. They're asking what happened. It's like, shut up and give them the facts. Like, usually they go and whoever's working is too busy or whatever. This guy was ready to dig deep and go full red table talk on these two, which I thought was funny. Opposites attract, dysfunction attracts harder. That's true.
Oof.
About the ring, and they all hated that ring so much. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Well, it's big, that's for sure. None of them like them. I like Kelsey's mom offering the police wine. How that was very hospitable of her.
I like that she was like, I'm aware. I'm not actually offering. I'm just being polite.
Polite, yeah. Kelsey's my everything. Did you see her ring? That rock is sick, no doubt. That's how people talk, for sure.
Yes, the young people.
Yes.
That is how they speak.
Yeah, that rock is sick, no doubt. He did offer tickets to his tour. I'd rather pass a kidney stone through my ears.
Yes.
Jesus. We talked about if you're planning on sticking around, you might want to invest in a blazer. Chill out. I just gave her a little bit of wardrobe advice and I didn't want to overload her. Again, chill out. You guys are being so mean.
So mean.
One I genuinely liked and thought was good writing was, I was pointing at a monster in their closet. Did you get him? No, but I will. I was like, ooh, the metaphor. I thought that was a really good exchange.
I totally agree. I think that it's really nice to see Benson, like, you know, supportive of Rollins, especially through all of this. And, you know, not to like, I feel like we're essentially just reflecting. Every episode is a reflection on Rollins' history because we know, I kind of wish we didn't know. But like, you know, when you look back at their relationship and how there was a good chunk of time where Benson couldn't trust her, the gambler's fallacy age, like there was that story. And so now to be here where they are not equals, but, you know, friends is nice.
Yeah, 100%. And it was like, she's not saying that's okay, because it's obviously not, and she's obviously should be going to therapy and doing the stuff that she needs to do. But the fact that she's not like pushing her, but also is encouraging her, I like that balance. I thought that was a really nice way to do that exchange.
Yeah, Alice agrees. I love Benson's response. So non-judgmental. Yeah,
agreed.
They get it. Those are some of our favorite lines from this episode. If we had reviews on iTunes, we would read them out right here with accents, but we have no new reviews, and that's a bummer. So go to iTunes, leave us a rating and a review. If you like us, 5 stars. If you don't like us, 4 stars. The other stars, they're broken. iTunes just does not care to fix them.
So weird.
And if you leave us a review, we will read it out in accents of sorts.
Sure will.
We'll do something. Let's do the weekly poll.
Yeah. I was real lazy. Well, actually last week, I was lazy last week too. I've been lazy. Last week we asked you guys who our favorite Bronx bestie was, because we had some people from the Bronx. And in second place was Duarte with 20% of the vote, which is honestly higher than I thought it would be. And then Muncie got 80% of the vote, which is good that you like her because she's now part of our team. This week I asked what your favorite of the two that we're discussing today is. Mirror effect and steps we cannot take.
Well, I did not realize how lazy you got.
Yep. Anyway,
Go on.
There's only 2 votes, but no one voted for this one, so hopefully more people will be watching the next one.
All right, we'll tell you where to find the poll in just a bit. Now for the segment that we've all been waiting for. What did we learn? I learned that the girl's from Bunheads. I did not know that.
She's so good. Now I want to rewatch Bunheads. What did I learn?
Wait. Have I seen her before?
She's been in more than just Bunheads, but
have I seen her before? No, I have not.
I think that I learned that I learned a lot, actually. I think that I learned that I have the perfect wardrobe to work at SVU because I have a lot of blazers.
Same.
I think I learned that I wouldn't want this limo driver to drive me because he's nosy and he would judge me. And I think I learned that opposites attract, but dysfunction attracts harder.
Wow, you've learned a lot.
Learned so much.
I learned that this little girl's bedroom probably reeks of perfume.
Yeah, it's just a Bath and Body Works in there.
Yeah. I enjoyed learning that the mom is the same from Producers Backet. Like, that was fun because now when I watch SVU, I have a lot of, where do I know this person from? Is it a previous episode of SVU?
SVU, yeah.
And that woman, I was like, I know her and I can imagine her. And I went, oh my God, it is a previous episode.
The same role, too.
The same role. Unbelievable. Yeah. Okay. Those are what we learned. I'm just going through the notes. We, as you know, we're a little bit behind on episodes. We apologize for that. We appreciate you sticking with us. Things came up, but now we're back. Oh, I can turn off this thing. And we will continue to do our episodes. We have another episode to discuss, and we're going to do it at the top of the next hour if you're watching us live. So in about less than 30 minutes. And there's a whole other link to that because we wanted to release these episodes separately on YouTube and iTunes and wherever you listen to podcasts. So I think those are my big announcements. Yeah, that sounds right? Yep. All right, Taylor, until next time, where can everyone keep up with you in the poll?
You guys can find me and the poll on Twitter at @alpha_and. You can also find me on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. I have a lot of fun photo shoot, fall, pumpkin patch. I really tried. I have fall pictures on there. They're super cute, so go like them.
Perfect. I am Yael Tygiel. You can find me everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And this Tuesday, you can find me and Felicia and this other woman, Mary, on the Electric Now app at the Saturn Awards doing the red carpet, 5:30 Pacific. It'll be live streamed. So if you have the Electric Now app, which you can all download for free, you can join us for the Saturn Awards. We will see you if you're joining us for the next episode in about 30 minutes. And if not, we'll see you next time you watch our show, which would be cool. Watch our stuff. Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.